My chosen sport is tennis. All three energy systems are used throughout the whole game of tennis. These systems are, firstly, ATP-PC. This is immediate and functions without oxygen. It allows for up to approximately 12 seconds of maximum effort. During the first few seconds of any activity, stored ATP supplies the energy. An example of this in tennis is when you make a sprint from one side to the other, as shown. The next system is the lactic acid system. This lasts from when the ATP-PC system ends to around 3 minutes. Now it becomes more complicated as the energy demands shift to the system. Dietary carbohydrates supply glucose that circulates in the blood or is stored as glycogen in the muscles and the liver. Blood glucose and or stored glycogen is broken down to create ATP through the process of glycolysis. Like the ATP-PC system, oxygen is not required for the actual process of glycolysis. Your maximal effort was fueled initially by the ATP-PC, but your performance declines. Continued effort results in further decline, either via fast decline or slow decline. I'm now entering the low power but longer duration aerobic system. This system lasts from when the lactic acid system ends onwards forever. Well, until you run out of energy and need to eat/drink. This system is used throughout the entire game of tennis. From the start to the finish. The relationship between the cardiovascular and respiratory system and their primary objectives. The two systems are the respiratory system and the cardiovascular system. The respiratory system starts with oxygen, O2, going in through the mouth and nose, down the trachea, into the lungs. The lungs have bronchi and bronchioles, and the alveoli. This is where the gas exchange happens. Oxygen is put into the blood and carbon dioxide is taken out. As you inhale oxygen, you exhale carbon dioxide. The next system is the cardiovascular system. This system pumps blood around the body to every cell in the body. It starts with the superior and inferior vena cava veins, which brings the blood into the right atrium and ventricle, and out the pulmonary arteries to the lung for the gas exchange to take place, then back into the heart through the left atrium and ventricle. 4 short-term changes in a game of tennis. Your heart beats faster. Your heart is a muscle and its function is to pump blood around your body. The speed of pumping increases because as you exercise, your muscles have a higher demand for oxygen. Blood is the transport system for your body and carries the fuel and nutrients your body requires. This means more oxygen is required to supply the body with oxygen. This increases your breath rate as well as your heart rate. You start to breathe more frequently because of the higher demand for oxygen. As the game goes on, the demand gets more and more, and you start to get more tired and you breathe in more and your heart rate increases. You feel hotter/flushed. When you exercise, you start to get hotter. The immediate response is that your small blood vessels near to the surface of your skin enlarge to allow more blood flow closer to the surface where cooling can take place. You sweat. When you get hot, the body also cools itself by sweating. Your sweat glands are simulated to let out fluid. When the water on the surface evaporates, you feel cooler. You get thirsty. As your body temperature increases, your body self-cools itself from fluids within the body. Once these fluid levels decrease and are not replaced, your body makes you feel thirsty, so you need to drink something to replace your lost fluid. 4 long-term changes. The muscles surrounding the heart get stronger, resulting in thicker, stronger walls, and therefore increase in heart volumes. The more blood pumped around the body per minute, the faster oxygen is delivered to the working muscles. The number of red blood cells increases, improving the body's ability to transport oxygen to the muscles. Your resting heart rate decreases in trained individuals due to the more efficient circulatory system. The lung muscles increase in strength. This results in larger volumes of oxygen being able to come in, which allows more oxygen to be put into the blood flow. Also, your muscles and bones and ligaments become stronger to cope with the additional stress and impact put through them. Overall, tennis uses every single system throughout the entire game. When you go for a serve, you use your ATP system because you're letting out a burst of energy, or when you just go to pass the ball back to the other side. But the aerobic system is used throughout the whole game to run across the court and back.